Hi, my name is Noel Kauanui. I am an instructor and one of the owners here at Central Oahu Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm here with one of our students, Royce Nagai. Hi, Royce.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Excited to be doing this white belt series with us?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So let's start off with how did you first get introduced to Jiu-Jitsu?
So I first got introduced to Jiu-Jitsu when I was super young, when they told me the origin of my name.
Right, which is Royce.
Royce, yeah.
Right, but I like to call you Royce.
Royce, yeah.
Right, okay.
So it was supposed to be Royce originally, but my mom's like, we're not going to name him like a Brazilian name for a Japanese kid. So,
okay, so how did your mom come up with that name then?
Well, she was watching UFC 1, I guess one of the highlights when she was about to give birth.
Okay.
And she's like, wow, that small dude is like able to conquer this big dude. And I think that's very cool. So I'm going to name him Royce because it looks like he can just conquer anything.
That's crazy. I did not know that that is how your name started. So was your mom into martial arts? Like, did she do other forms of martial arts? Did she do jiu-jitsu?
She did a little bit of judo.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And she just saw this new thing called Ultimate Fighter and thought, I want to watch this?
I guess like maybe she was forced to when she was in the hospital room.
So it was already in you. You had to start training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, already programmed.
Okay. So how old were you when you actually started jiu-jitsu?
When I started, I think I was in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you start training initially?
Initially, I started training at Mad Tiger.
Okay.
And then at that point, I was like, a lot of stuff. It was like school happening. Right. And then I went into high school. I got a girlfriend and I was like, I'm not going to do any jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And
kind of stopped.
Kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you do after high school? Or in high school, did you do judo or anything like that?
I did wrestling for one day.
Oh, one day.
One day.
Okay.
Yeah. And then...
Why? Why one day?
It was kind of extreme. I guess I was not used to that rigor. And the environment was very like testosterone heavy.
Okay.
So I didn't really care for that.
Okay. Can I ask what school you went to?
Mililani High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're at Mililani. You did one day of wrestling, no judo.
No judo.
Okay. And then you graduated from high school. And then
I did like a month of judo.
Okay.
Around the Mililani area.
Okay.
That was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how many years were you out of jiu-jitsu before you ended up starting back up?
Let's see. I was maybe 8 years around.
Okay.
Yeah. Around there. Because I came here around 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would line up.
Okay.
Because I graduated 2013.
Okay. And how did you end up here? Was it the great coaching?
It is the great coaching. But I was also looking through the directory and I was like, oh, it's kind of close to my house.
Okay.
Because I live by Lelehua. So I was like, oh, this is perfect for me.
Okay.
And I love the environment here and the instruction.
Awesome. So you trained with us, but that even is a little bit of an interesting story, right? Because you trained how long? Do you remember?
Oh, I think I trained maybe like 5 months.
Okay.
Around. Yeah. And then I had to go to medical school. And then
so you were gone a while.
I was gone a while, maybe like a year, because I had a family emergency. I had to come back.
Right.
And then more life stuff happened here, and then I was able to get back on the mat.
So you trained here at COBJJ, and then you took a break for like 6 years, right? 6 years, and then came back and have been training now for a little while. And what would you say, like, now, being a little bit older, I know you look young, but you're not as young as you may appear. What are your kind of goals, I guess, with jiu-jitsu now at the age you are? With training, are you looking to do competitions, or what's kind of your goals?
Yeah, I'm looking to compete. I feel like it's like the best way to learn jiu-jitsu in the fastest amount of time, and also like the most effective way, because then people are trying to beat you and they're trying to like not go easy on you at all. I feel like certain times your training partners are too nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
these upcoming tournaments that are happening will be your first kind of testing of doing competition, or did you do it when did you compete as a child or as a kid?
I competed, when I was a child. I did it twice.
Okay.
So I went to Naga, and then I also went to Pac Sub. I think that was the name of the tournament.
Mm-hmm. And so now we're starting that back up again. Okay. So if you had to do one submission, you could only do one for the rest of your life. Every time you trained and sparred with someone, there was only one submission. What would that one be?
One submission. I think it's the rear naked choke.
Okay.
I love the rear naked choke. Yeah.
I read a statistic not that long ago that said, like, even in UFC, the rear naked choke is used more often with a higher success rate than any other submission in the UFC. And it wasn't even like close. It was like a landslide of UFC.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry, of the rear naked choke in the UFC. So probably a good choice to do. Yeah. And any other goals like for Jiu-Jitsu, like instructing at some point, or
maybe in the future.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have the knowledge yet, and just trying to learn the positions more. I feel like that's a big step of trying to learn Jiu-Jitsu more.
Yeah. Going back to like you know, starting as essentially almost a teen, or preteen age, and then quitting beef when you got into high school. I think that's something that a lot of schools notice, right? We have these huge programs for children, and then as kids enter that teen age, it's hard to keep them compared to kids who maybe come in as teens. They stay a lot longer, but sometimes I feel like keeping their attention when they've already maybe trained for a few years. Now all of a sudden there's high school and they're introduced to other sports, especially sports that are in high school, and then getting into relationships and all of those kind of things. Do you think there's anything that coaches and gym owners could do that would have made a difference and made you maybe want to continue with it and not take that break or not quit jiu-jitsu? Because I do find as a gym owner that it is hard sometimes to retain those students that started at such a young age through those high school ages. Any tips for myself and the other coaches?
Oh man, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't think it really is on the coaches. I think
Okay.
it's on the individual of like how much they want to do jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Because even when I was on my break, I would kind of be like itching to go back on the
Okay.
mat, but it was like, okay, this is like taking on my life, but I am gonna go on the mat eventually.
Right.
So
Yeah. And you took a really long break, and I know that there are probably a lot of students who take breaks, maybe even thinking they're going to be shorter breaks, and then they turn into 6 years. What would you say to those people who are maybe watching this and being like, man, it's been so long. I've seen so many of my peers now, get higher belts, and I'm still, a white belt, and now they're blue belts or purple belts or whatever they are. And maybe a little bit of it could be ego, but also you start to forget techniques. I remember you saying that when you came back, like, man, I don't remember all the techniques. What kind of, motivation, or what could you say to those people who are looking at, because you did it, you were out for a super long time and you came back, and any words of advice for someone who's maybe sitting at home and who hasn't trained in 6 years and they're thinking about coming back?
I would say words of advice would be just to try and get back into training.
Yeah.
And with jiu-jitsu, it feels like you can always get better. So Even plateaus, you can kind of overcome it by like doing your own research outside, and as long as it's still on your mind and you're able to just kind of get your rolling time in, you'll make progress.
Good. Any tips for another white belt? Like any suggestions in like what should they focus on, or what are some good basic techniques that they could learn?
Tips? Well, one I would tell myself if I could is don't be as squirrely. Yeah, because in the beginning, when I was a teen too, I would just try and spaz out every time I could. And I did that in the beginning here too. And then I was like, oh man, I gotta build up my stamina because I'm not going past 2 rounds. But it's normal for you to kind of just focus on your moves, and you're not just trying to win each round. So just try to slow it down and understand why maybe certain techniques aren't just about speed and more about just timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just knowledge, that you gain after being on the mat for so long, right? Yeah. All right. Anything else you'd like to talk about or share about your jiu-jitsu journey?
No, it's good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here in these, our white belt interview that we had here with Royce. Thank you so much. Have a good night.